Thunder sometime soon for some of us. I'm not sure if we'll get anything because we're down here and we got the sea breezes coming up here. And of course sea breezes tend to chew up all the Tstorms, as many of my Tstorm buddies heard that even their deep sleep over the past many years, even well over a decade as well. Meanwhile, look at this. This is a 60,000 foot top cell right here. And here it says meso, possibility of rotation, and of course hail. And my good friend Tom, who lives in Walpole, New Hampshire, he lives up here somewhere. He's probably got some good stuff already. Also, my sister Penn in Plainfield, Massachusetts, reported some pretty decent thunder. She lives in this area, so I'm not surprised she got some good stuff. She told us when we talked to her earlier that she's already got some taping done, so we'll see what happens. Again, they got some real monsters here. 50,000 foot here, 55,000 here, and 60. Wow. Even, oh my God, even those supercell Tstorms like in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas don't even get this high. But my God, a 60,000 foot top here, that's a lot. Okay, this is awesome, man. But I doubt we'll get anything really good, but if we do, I'll get this baby up and running. This one here shows the lightning strikes. You can see it's sort of like a carpet full of lightning strikes all in this area. Yep. Wow, look at all that. Yep, all those red dots means CG bolts. Yeah, whew, that's right. Well, as I say, exactly 7 years ago today, there was a lot of CGs, 52905, and that video's on YouTube, by the way. I'm always looking for comments on my YouTube videos instead of my getting junk emails ad nauseumly, as I said in every binary language. However, hopefully my good friend Tom from New Hampshire's gotten some good stuff already. And if he does, I'll be glad to look at his videos, and he can count on one thing: when I comment, I always comment. Okay, that's it for the lightning strikes. Alright.
He's a 7-news weather alert.
All right, getting you up to speed here on our watches now. Severe thunderstorm watch in pink all the way from Nashville to Worcester this evening. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warning in yellow, or orange rather. It goes all the way out through the Berkshires. And then the yellow is the tornado watch up until about 9 o'clock. These warnings have been for these thunderstorms as they just pepper the area from about southern Vermont down to Pittsfield right now. And then we have another cluster that's been just hanging out in parts of Cheshire County. This has been something to see here on radar and satellite too, to see these towering cumulus and these severe thunderstorms from Keene all the way to Alstead, New Hampshire. Hillsborough has been on the edge all afternoon long. This seems to be the hot zone. These storms form and then they have a hard time moving out into Hillsborough County, and they sit back here and they've been just raining themselves out. Over 2.5 inches of rain in Walpole, New Hampshire.
You hear that, Tom?
This particular cell, I'm sure they're heavier amounts, and some hailstones too.
You hear that, Tom?
Out of that severe thunderstorm. Then you have these thunderstorms, which are non-tornadic now, no rotation that we see, although there's been some slight rotation out of that storm near Great Barrington, but that is headed
Great
eastbound
Barrington
on the pike.
It's taking at 95, tornado.
In Greenfield, Springfield here in the next 45 minutes or so. This line is progressing eastbound, but we have an ace in the hole here in eastern Massachusetts. That would be our sea breeze.
Of course.
Those clouds, the low clouds, the haze, the fog, that sea breeze, the wind off the water, that really nukes the thunderstorms.
Of
and I'm
course.
expecting they'll run out of gas by the time they do head into 495 and 128. So I'm not thinking that these will be severe. But between 9, 10, 11 o'clock, from about Marlborough and about Groton eastward, through Worcester, or through Boston, and up into the North Shore, we may still get a rumble of thunder and quick downpour too. The farther these thunderstorms get, though, the farther they're getting from the source that kicked them off, which was a cool front coming through Buffalo. The more that separation continues, the more likely this line will fade out, especially as it heads into eastern Mass. We're running out of time, too. The heat of the day is leaving us, and we never really had that much heat. And eastern Mass, we still have the fog, still an issue, really, from Topsfield on up into Lawrence and Newburyport, too. Look at these thunderstorms, though. You can see them sprout, and they pop up, and they're looking like they put up an overshooting top, which means they've broken them up the top of the troposphere, and they're just kind of perched up way up there, several thousand feet. That's incredible to see that.
Well, like 60,000.
So it's possible that we will get a storm threat tonight. That's up until about 10 o'clock. Not likely in Boston, Gloucester, and out through Scituate and down into Plymouth especially. Best chances in darker green from Orange to Springfield, where we've held on to those temperatures in the lower 80s and our dew points stay in the warm range. 83 now in Worcester, 81 in Norwood, 81 in Taunton, but you can see the 60s and even mid-60s, low 60s on the North Shore. It's a little chilly, in fact, a little raw, more of a maritime influence there in Beverly with a dew point of 60 degrees. Dew point 68 now in Worcester, so that's the soupy air that's feeding these storms and should keep them going at least up until the point they reach Worcester. Warm day tomorrow, temperatures in the 80s.
Just so you mentioned Great Barrington, on this date in 1995, 17 years ago today, there was a killer tornado there. I bet you a lot of you didn't know that. I did. In fact, we even had hail here that same evening. And that's on YouTube, not to be confused with my 52905 Marathon Tstorms. Okay.